Good morning, good afternoon to you, wherever you are in the world today. We are most fortunate to have with us on a Saturday afternoon, Brett Archibald. Those of you that do not know him, or if you do know who he is, he fell overboard in April 2013 in the Indian Ocean off a boat, and he survived in the ocean for 28 and a half hours. He's written a book on his experience. If you scroll down, you'll get to see the link where you can purchase it. It is an amazing book. It speaks to his resilience. It speaks to his reality of how he steps into life and embraces adventure and change at every opportunity. Brett, we are very privileged to have you talking to us today about empowerment, woman empowerment, how you've seen it evolve over time. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlotte. And I'm so excited to be part of your show. And to all you wonderful ladies out there, happy Women's Day. And thank you for the jobs you do in society that keeps our world a little bit sane. Although I'm not sure our world is sane at the moment.
We've got challenges that are pushing us into further evolution without a shadow of a doubt, and recognizing what's important to us, would you say?
Absolutely. You know, COVID, I think, has thrown a curveball to every single person across the globe. And it doesn't matter what area of life you come from, what role you play in society, what job you do. I think COVID has really, really shaken the world up. And everybody's talking about the new now. I mean, there's no doubt that the new now is the world we find ourselves in. I think I've been very fortunate to do a number of talks around resilience in ever-changing times. And I think my story is just so well aligned to being part of having to think on your feet, be resilient, wonder no one knows what's coming. No one knows where we're headed to. And I think it's really tough for everybody out there. The more people I talk to, the more I'm finding even people who normally just were so focused on where they were headed to are now questioning everything. And I think we have to question everything every day. It's not something you can say, you know, next week I'm going to be doing XYZ, because we're not. You don't know.
Exactly. And Brett, I know in 28 and a half hours is what you were in the ocean for, and the last half an hour is when you actually decided to end your life, and miraculously that was when you survived. So possibly there's a lesson in us for that with COVID, is that when we think we want to give up is when we actually find the resources we really need.
Absolutely. It was such a weird circumstance, because I'd swum through the night, fell overboard the whole day, the next night, and not believing ever that I could get through the second night. The second morning now, I can see land, the sea is calm, but I just ran out. Everything ran out. And I think so many people can relate to that, because I think we find ourselves in circumstances now where it's almost like our batteries are flat. And I gave up. I'm not proud of it, and I just couldn't carry on. So I tried to end my life. But what I want to share with everyone, especially ladies, I mean, I think ladies are far more resilient than men in many, many ways. And it's interesting when our physical side is pushed to a level that you think you've got nothing more, but our mind power. And that's something I've learned so much about us as humans. And I honestly mean it when I say I'm no different to your average Joe in the street. You know, we have got a will to survive embedded and inherent in us that is so powerful. And we've got to learn to trust that. You know, I think as human beings, we stop trusting in that. And I've just seen, I mean, I've heard of three, I know of three, well, I don't know them, but I've heard of three people I know who, through business environment, that have taken their lives during the last 6 weeks. I've lost 3 good school friends from COVID. And I'm reeling from the impact of it. You know, the shock of it, it's so close to home. I've got 2 really good friends whose parents have passed. And it's so hard to get your mind around that, but it's something we have to do, because we have to go forward. We've got, especially the ladies. I mean, ladies are far more nurturing and attuned to the world around them than men, in my opinion. And I think the ladies are also taking so much strain right now, having bearing the burden of being, in some cases, mothers, leaders in communities, leaders in business. It's a really tough place to be, but you just have to know that within yourself there is such an incredible power. And you and I have been talking about the hidden power within you. It is incredible force that we have to tap into, and we have to learn how to tap into.
Yeah, and imagine empowering more people to have that powerful voice from within.
Well, you certainly have that ability to do that. So you need to get the ladies to follow your links and get onto your programs, because they really are. It's important at this time in life.
Brett, how have you seen women empowerment change?
Do you know, it's very interesting. When you and I chatted about what this little clip is going to be about, and I was very blessed to cut my teeth in business at a company where I think we were 19 men and 425 women.
Sure.
And in an environment like that, it's very difficult to try and stamp your authority. And it was quite interesting watching how some of the men, and I'm talking late 80s, early 90s, how some men just were for them it was so important to do that. And yet the ladies that I met and got to know and who became fellow directors with me on the board of our company really blew my mind, because I think certainly women empowerment has gone a long way in the last few years, but I still think it's way behind where it should be. I really do. I think women in business, women in the workplace, women in the social place, women in society bring far more value because of their empathy, their ability to think, I think, far more logically around problem solving. And I'm sure there are many men that would shoot me down in flames for saying that. But I think I was just blessed to have been exposed to that in that time. And throughout my corporate career, I always worked in a company that had way more women than men, both on the board, both in the workplace. And I have to say, I've learned so much from women and learned to really understand my feminine side, which I don't know. I think South Africa still, I was very, very blessed to work overseas for a long time. And I certainly think South Africa's got some way to go. I think in the last few years, we've seen women empowerment across the board start taking ground. And just, I've been driving on the road for 2 hours and I've just been listening to Algoa FM and the most amazing woman talking, obviously in preparation for tomorrow, about women just putting their foot down now, and enough is enough. You know, this abuse that's come out or shown its reared its ugly head during COVID is just unacceptable. And I heard such an interesting lady speaking on the way up here, where she said, in the societies where this woman abuse is happening, more than 90% of the time, the onlookers and surrounding people know exactly who the perpetrator is. And her question was, why are women not standing up and saying enough's enough? And I, as a man, could not. I mean, I was high-fiving her in the car. You know, that's what we all need to empower women to be able to do, to have their voices heard, and enough is enough. No more women abuse. It's unacceptable.
And what would you recommend and suggest for moving forward for both men and women in the space of women empowerment, besides no more violence?
Look, I think we are all responsible to grow ourselves personally. Not everybody has the opportunity to work for a corporate or have a boss who really believes that everybody needs to be empowered. So my message and certainly to the younger women out there, is to go and learn. There are so many amazing courses. I'm going to do a bit of a punt for you, Charlotte, because you've got an amazing program. And I think It's not expensive. There are very cost-effective self-empowerment courses out there. And, you know, we've all got to find the time. I think COVID has shown us that if we are not empowering ourselves, growing ourselves, learning more about ourselves, learning to relax, learning to understand what makes you tick in order to be able to get through these crazy times we live in, we have to be doing that. And I don't see enough of that. I think, I don't want to get into a political conversation, but I certainly think our government is, I haven't seen enough effort put into that side of things in empowering not only women, but empowering the communities and the people of South Africa, to put them in positions to make the right decisions. You know, I really think that is a crucial thing for us as a country and for our own sanity, personal sanity.
And my favorite question, and I know what's coming, tell us, who is your role model in the woman empowerment space?
In the women empowerment, I am blessed. It is my wife, my beautiful Anita. She is my best friend, my soulmate, and probably the rock. I mean, she's, without a doubt, she's the rock in our family. I'd like to think I am, but the reality is she's the rock. And just the level-headed ability to look at things. And you know, I learned so many lessons from her. I mean, she's incredibly spiritual. She analyzes things before. I'm very emotional and tend to jump to conclusions and make split instant decisions, instead of just taking that little step back. And I've only been married for a short time to her, 18 years, and we've been together 20, but I have learned so much, and I know I'll continue to learn so much from her, because she is an incredible lady, as all of you amazing women are out there.
I'm very fortunate to have met her, and she's also beautiful. So, and she's given you some beautiful children. Yes. So that's the perfect compliment for an evolved man. What you deserve, Brett. Absolutely what you deserve. Thank you so much for your time today. Really.
Thank you. Thank you. And I really, really wish you lots of success. I wish all the women out there to step forward and take control of your own destinies, because we are all responsible for that. And I don't think enough of it's done in this country. And there are so many incredible ladies in top positions that can help our country change and face the challenges it does. So it's been an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
Thank you kindly. Thank you, Brett. Have a good weekend.
You too, Charlotte. Take care.
Bye.